Hello, everybody. Mr. Olins here. Now, thank you for sending all your work in yesterday. It was really great to see your work. I really enjoyed creating the lesson, so if you guys enjoyed it and you enjoyed the work. It's all about time, which is quite interesting because we all know about time. We use time all the time for everything. Time. Anyway, guess what? Today, we're carrying on with time. Time. It's going to be very fun. Now, yesterday, a girl from year 6 challenged me, Mr. Owens, to dance to a song called Coincidence, which I actually do know the song. I've seen quite a few TikToks on it. So this is my deal to you guys, okay? If I get, okay, what should we say? If I get 80% of each class sending in work by Friday, okay, then I will do it on Friday or next week. Okay, so 80% of you, okay, need to send in your work from each class. So in my class, that will be probably about 17 out of 23, maybe a bit more, 18 people out of 23. In Churchill and Gandhi, that will probably be about, I don't know, like 26, 27 out of 30, maybe 25. Okay. So 80% from each class need to send their work in, and then I will dance to Coincidence, called Info Dance. It's a very good song. I like it. Anyway, so that is that from me, guys. Have a fantastic lesson. Please send your work to year5 at grange.harrow.sch.uk and enjoy the lesson. Goodbye. Right, so what am I going to need for the lesson? You're going to need something to write with and some paper. Okay, as I always say at this point, if you do not have these things, please pause the video, go and get them as they are very important for today's lesson, and then press play when you are ready to continue. Excellent. So the LI today is to convert between hours, minutes, and seconds. So your first task is to write the LI and the date at the top of your page. So please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Lovely. So we're now going to do a recap. Remember, recap is very important to strengthen our understanding. So we're going to test your knowledge. So what does kilo mean? What does kilogram mean? What does milli mean? What does millimeter mean? Now, if I have 2,000 grams, how many kilograms do I have? And then the last question is, what is a quarter of a kilogram? So please pause the video, complete that recap underneath the outline, the date, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Excellent, welcome back. So what does kilo mean? Kilo means 1,000. So that means that a kilogram means 1,000 grams. What does a milli mean? A milli means 1,000th. Okay, so a millimeter would mean 1,000th of a meter. Now, what is, if I have 2,000 grams, how many kilograms do I have? Okay. Now remember, every kilogram is 1,000 grams, and I've got 2 kilograms, and therefore, I've got 2,000 grams, and therefore I will have 2 kilograms. And then the last question was, what is a quarter of a kilogram? Okay, now the easiest way to do this is, if you remember, is to convert this into an equivalent fraction out of 1,000, because at the moment our fraction, a quarter, is out of 4, and really a kilogram, well, not really, a kilogram is out of 1,000. Okay, so to work out what a quarter of a kilogram is, we need to make it into an equivalent fraction out of 1,000. So how do we get from 4 to 1,000? Okay, we times by 250. So whatever you do to the bottom, you've got to do to the top. So 1 times 250 is equal to 250. So a quarter of a kilogram is 250 grams. Now, if you didn't quite get this right, don't worry. I'd advise looking over the videos again, or send me an email so I can give you some extra help on that. Excellent. So we're now going to move on to today's lesson, which is all about hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, and converting between all of them. So we're going to start with a little recap on yesterday. So we have a year. Okay. And then our year is split into 12 months. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. And then each month, okay, is split into weeks and days. Okay, and we were converting between all of those yesterday. Now, days are split into hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, so in one day there are 24 hours. Okay, so if we start here, one all the way around, well, these are all different hours, and then we finish at 24 because there are 24 hours in one day. Okay, now obviously a clock, I mean, you can get clocks that look like this, but they're quite complicated. We don't have clocks which are up to 24. What we do instead is have clocks which are up to 12. Okay, and then we basically just use them twice. Okay, so we go from 12 to 12, and then we go from 12 to 12 again, and that's 24. So it's 24 hours in a day. So that's what a clock looks like, as I'm sure all of you know that. Right, so we have our year, we have our month, we have our weeks and days, and then our days are split into hours. Now, each hour, okay, so each one of these is an hour. Each hour is split into 60 minutes. Okay, so if we take 9 as an example, okay, 9, the hour of like 9 o'clock, okay, as an example, okay, that whole hour is split into 60 minutes, okay, and each one of these little dots, as I've pointed to them, is a minute, okay. So this hour, the hour 9 o'clock, okay, splits into 60 different minutes, okay. Now, each minute, each one of these is made up of 60 seconds, okay. So let's just do a little recap there. So we have our clock, okay. This is a day. It's 24 hours, so we've got 12, and then we do 12 again. Okay, now each hour, okay, is split into 60 minutes. So for example, I gave the example of 9 o'clock here. Okay, this is an hour. 9 o'clock is would be a whole hour, and from 9 to 10 would be a whole hour, and that is split into 60 minutes, and each of these one is a minute all the way around. Okay, and then each of these minutes is split into 60 seconds. Okay, lots of 60s, not very, bit confusing, but I know. So, excellent. Right, so I've got a little game for you. Okay, this is a really fun game that I used to play when I was at school. So, the way this works is that I'm going to show you how long a minute lasts. So this is the game, okay? So what you need to do is you need to shut your eyes, and when I say go, you need to count with your eyes shut in your head, okay, up to a minute, okay? And when you think a minute is done, okay, in your head, you're gonna say, you're just, in front of you, just go stop, okay? And then you'll open your eyes, okay, and you'll see if you were right or not. I will let you know when a minute's up. Okay, don't look at the screen because obviously the screen's going to tell you when a minute's up. So what you need to do is just close your eyes, think, start, when I say go, you're going to start counting up to a minute, okay, up to 60 seconds. And then, once you think that is finished, okay, then you're going to say stop, you'll look, and you'll see if you were right or not, okay? So, it's going to, hopefully I've explained that well. It's quite difficult to explain. But anyway, here we go. Ready? So 3, started early. So everyone shut your eyes. And when I say go, start counting to 60. So 3, 2, 1, go. Stop. Right, so it's interesting to see who was able to do exactly a minute. Now, if you were a bit early, a bit late, or if you actually exactly knew when a minute was, okay, write it in the comments below. I really want to know how well you've done there. Okay, I remember I was awful at this when I was at school. I always used to do it too late or too early. I could never get exactly a minute. So anyway, that was a bit of a game. Right, so what we're going to do now is a little recap. So days are split into 24 hours. In each hour is split into 60 minutes, and then each minute has 60 seconds. Okay, and we just saw like how long 60 seconds is. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do some converting between all of these between hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is between minutes and hours. Okay, so how many minutes are there in 2 hours? Okay, so in 1 hour there are 60 minutes. Okay, so to work out how many minutes there are in 2 hours, you'll just do 2 times 60, which will give you 120 minutes. So in 2 hours there are 120 minutes. Now, how many minutes are there in 1.5? So 1.5 hours. Okay, so in 1 hour, okay, there are 60 minutes. Okay, and then we've got half an hour. Okay, so that's half of 1 hour, and 1 hour is 60 minutes. So half of that will be 30. Okay, so to work that out, then we would just do 1.5 hours is equal to 90 minutes, and we've done that by just doing 60 plus 30 minutes, okay, which gives us 90 minutes. Okay, we're now going to do the opposite, so work out how many hours there are in minutes. Okay, so how many hours are there in 120 minutes? Okay, so in 60 minutes there is 1 hour. Okay, and in 120 minutes there is 2 hours, and we know this because 120 is just double 60. So if 60 minutes is 1 hour, then double that, 120 is going to be 2 hours. Okay, I mean, I guess you could do 120 just to find out how many minutes there are, how many hours there are in minutes. You could just do the minutes divided by the hour. So you could do 120 divided by 60, and that would give you 2. Okay, so it's up to you whichever way you want to do it. That might get a bit more complicated when you have more difficult numbers, but just kind of counting up is quite easy. So you just go 60, 120. All right, so that would be 2 hours. Okay, right, let's do another one. So how many hours are there in 200 minutes? Okay, how many hours are there in 200 minutes? So we can just do this again. So in 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. In 2 hours, there are 120 minutes. In 3 hours, there are 180 minutes, right? So we're not at 200 minutes yet. And in 4 hours, there's 240 minutes. But we have a bit of a problem here, okay? Now, the problem is that we want to know how many hours are in 200 minutes, and the hours, if you keep going, okay, it's too much. Okay, so the next would be 4 hours, and that's 240 minutes, but we only want 200 minutes. Okay, so that means that we're not going to have an exact amount of hours. We're going to have hours and minutes. So we know we definitely got 3 hours, which is 180 minutes, and then from 180 to 200 is just 20. So that would tell us that we've got 3 hours and 20 minutes. Right. You are now going to... Are you? Yes, you are. You are now going to do a practice question. Okay. So, how many minutes are there in 3.5 hours? Okay. How many minutes are there in 3.5 hours? Okay. So you are now going to complete this. So please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you're ready to go through this. Excellent, welcome back. So, how many minutes are there in 3.5 hours? So, in 1 hour, okay, there is 60 minutes. In 2 hours is 120 minutes. You just do 2 times 60. In 3 hours, okay, there's 180 minutes. It's just 3 times 60. But we also have half an hour. Now remember, half an hour is 30 minutes, so then you just add that on, okay? So that would be, so you just do 180 plus 30, which equals 210 minutes. Something you could do to quicken this up is you could just do 3.5 times 60. Okay, it's up to you. If you're confident in doing that, then that's fine. If not, you can kind of just add it up. Or you can just do it in the written addition formula that you want to know how to do. Okay. Now you're now going to go through another example. So here we are. How many hours are there in 70 minutes? Okay, how many hours are there in 70 minutes? So please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Excellent. So in 1 hour, we have 60 minutes, okay, but we've got more than 60 minutes, so we need to go again. So in 2 hours, we've got 120 minutes, okay? In 2 hours, we have 120 minutes, but we have a slight problem here, okay, because, okay, 120 minutes is too much, okay? Oh, sorry, it says 120, let's just say 120 minutes, okay? So we have too much, okay? We only want 70 minutes. So what we then need to do is, right, we've got our 1 hour. We definitely know we've got 1 hour, which is 60 minutes. And then we've got 70 minutes, okay? So what's the difference between 60 and 70? It's 10 minutes, okay? So that would tell us that we have 1 hour and 10 minutes. Excellent, right, superstars, you're now going to go away and do some questions on this. So I want you to tell me how many minutes are in 2.5 hours, how many minutes are in 3 hours, how many hours are in 80 minutes, and how many hours are in 300 minutes. Okay, so superstars, please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you are ready to go through this. Welcome back, superstars. Oh, sorry, I believe I've made an error there. This should be, sorry, that's my mistake. So in 2.5 hours, there would be 150 minutes, okay? In 3 hours, there are 180 minutes. In 80 minutes, why have I put 80 minutes hours? Come on, Mr. Rollins, that is no good. In 80 minutes, there are 1 hour and 20 minutes, okay, because we don't have an equal amount of hours. You've got 1 hour and then 20 minutes. And then in 300 minutes, there are 5 hours, okay? Superstars, I'm sure most of you did very well there, but if you didn't, don't worry. Maybe look over the video again or message me on email for a bit of extra support. Blue zone, these are your questions. So I want you to tell me what a third of an hour is in minutes, okay? What is a third of an hour in minutes? 7.5 hours equals how many minutes? 234 minutes equals how many hours? And 336 minutes equals how many hours? So please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Right. A third of an hour. Now, a very easy way to do this is just to make it an equivalent fraction out of 60, because remember, an hour is out of 60 minutes. Okay, so how do we do that? 3 to 60, you times by 20. Whatever you do to the bottom, you'll do to the top. So 1 times 20 is 20. Okay, so a third of an hour is 20 minutes. Basically the same as just saying what is a third of 60. Okay. Excellent. 7.5 hours is 450 minutes. 234 minutes is equal to 3 hours and 6 minutes. And 336 minutes is equal to 5 hours and 36 minutes. Okay. Now, same blue zone. If you didn't quite do as well as you would have liked, I'm sure a lot of you have, but if you haven't, don't worry. Maybe look over the video again or send me an email, and I will help you. Right, we're now going to move on to minutes and seconds. So in every minute, there are 60 seconds, and we know this. Okay, we worked out, we know in our heads now how long 60 seconds is. So in every minute, there are 60 seconds, okay? So how many minutes are there in 120 seconds? Okay, so 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. Okay, so 120 seconds would be equal to 2 minutes. So we know that because 120 is double 60. So if 60 is 1 minute, 120 is going to be 2 minutes. So you can just count that in your head. 60 is 1 minute. Okay, what's another 60? That's 120. Okay, so that would be 2 minutes. You could do 120 divided by 60, or whatever number, how many seconds there is divided by 60, and that will give you the same answer. Okay, but I think maybe it's just a bit easier to do it like this, but it's up to you, whichever way you find easiest. Okay, right. How many minutes are there in 130 seconds? Okay, so 60 seconds is 1 minute. Okay, 120 seconds is 2 minutes, and then 180 seconds is 3 minutes, but we don't want 180 seconds, we only want 130 seconds, so it's not going to be an equal amount of minutes. Okay, it's going to be minutes and seconds. So we definitely know that we've got 2 minutes, because 120 seconds is 2 minutes. So then you need to be like, right, 130 is 10 more than 120, so it's going to be 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Okay, we're going to go through another example now. Are we? How many minutes are there? How many seconds are there in 3 minutes? Fine. Sorry, guys. Yeah, fine. So now we're going to do how many seconds are there in 3 minutes? Okay, so in 1 minute, there are 60 seconds, okay? So in 3 minutes, it's going to be 180 seconds. And the way to do that is just do 3 times 60, okay? Because remember, every minute is just 60 seconds. So if we've got 3 of them, we're going to do 3 times 60, which equals 130 seconds, okay? Excellent. Now, how many seconds are there in 2.5 minutes? Okay, so in 1 minute, there is 60 seconds. In 2 minutes, there is 120 seconds. Just do 2 times 60. And then we've got half of a minute, okay? Now, a minute is 60 seconds, so half of that is going to be 30. So then you just add the 30 to the 120, which will give you 150 seconds. Now, another way you can do this is you could just do 2.5 times 60, okay? Which will give you the same answer, okay? 2.5 times 60. Right, you're now going to do this one. How many minutes are there in 90 seconds? So please pause the video, complete this task, and then press play when you are ready to continue. Excellent, so we want to know how many minutes there are in 90 seconds. So in 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. In 2 minutes, there are 120 seconds, but we don't want 120 seconds. We want 90 seconds. So it's not going to be an equal amount of minutes. It's going to be minutes and seconds. So we definitely know we've got 1 minute, which is 60 seconds. Then you need to be like, right, okay, what's the difference between 60 and 90? It's 30, okay? So then you just add the 30 to the 60. Sorry, ignore that. I'll start again. That was very badly explained. Okay, so how many minutes are there in 90 seconds? So in 1 minute, okay, we have 60 seconds. In 2 minutes, we have 120 seconds. But, okay, we don't want, we want 90 seconds. We want to know how many minutes are in 90 seconds, okay? It's not going to be an equal amount. So what you need to do is, right, I've got 1 minute, okay? I know you've definitely got 1 minute. And then how many extra seconds do I have, okay? And the way you do that is just by working out, okay, what the difference between 60 and 90 is, okay, or how you get from 60 to 90, which is 30, okay, so there'll be 1 minute and 30 seconds. Sorry, that was very badly explained, I apologize. Right, and then the next one is, how many seconds are there in 5 minutes? So please pause the video, complete this task, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Excellent, welcome back. So how many seconds are there in 5 minutes? So easiest way to work this out, okay, is just to do 5 times 60, because we know that in every minute there are 60 seconds. So if you've got 5 minutes, then you just do 5 times 60. 5 times 60 is equal to 350 seconds. Right, we're now going to move on to our questions for today, superstars. So superstars, I want to tell me how many seconds are there in 1 minute? How many seconds are there in 4 minutes? How many minutes are there in 120 seconds? And how many minutes are there in 80 seconds? So please pause the video, complete that task,
and then press play when you are ready to continue. Excellent. So in 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. In 4 minutes, there are 240 seconds. In 120 seconds, there are 2 minutes. And in 80 seconds, there is 1 minute and 20 seconds. Now, superstars, I'm sure most of you did well there, but if you didn't do quite as well as you would have liked, please don't worry. Just make sure you send me an email so I can give you some extra support. Now, superstars, if you want to go, that's absolutely fine. And goodbye. If you'd like to stay and carry on for the Blue Zone task, that is also fantastic. Right, Blue Zone. So 2.5 minutes equals how many seconds? 7 minutes equals how many seconds? 140 seconds equals how many minutes? And 310 seconds equals how many minutes? So please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you are ready to continue. Excellent. So in 2.5 minutes, there are 150 seconds. In 7 minutes, there are 420 seconds. In 140 seconds, there are 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And in 310 seconds, there are 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Excellent, Blue Zone. Now, as well, if you didn't do as well as you may have liked, please do not worry, okay? Just make sure you look at the video again or send me an email so I can give you some extra support. Now, there is going to be no challenge today because tomorrow's lesson is all about problem solving, so I thought we would just leave that till tomorrow. So have a fantastic day. Please make sure you send all your work in to the Year 5 email, and I look forward to seeing it and seeing you tomorrow, guys. Bye.